Welcome to this unit, Skills and Traits Required of a Successful Merchandiser. In this unit, you will learn the skills and traits that are required of a successful merchandiser or buyer. This unit comprises of 2 modules and a final review section that invites you to reflect on what you have learned. By the end of this unit, students will be able to recognize how ignorance is more expensive than knowledge, review the importance of dedication, enthusiasm, honesty and stamina to become a successful merchandiser or buyer, describe the significance of communication, decision making, leadership and negotiation skills for a successful merchandiser or buyer. Review the importance of merchandising or buying career in apparel industry. This module gives you an overview of the traits that are required of a merchandiser or buyer. Many students enrolled in merchandising courses want to become a buyer. They are part of a large group who have the idea that a fashion buyer's job is glamorous, replete with travel abroad, cocktail parties, luncheons and dinners, theatre going, fashion shows, etc. They also believe that it is a career that provides rapid advancement, high pay and constant excitement, and they are correct to some degree. However, in all the honesty, the fashion buyer's job demands long hours and hard work. Management demands certain desirable traits, characteristics and attributes. Merchandise managers like to have their fashion buyers possess some, if not all, of the characteristics that previously or currently successful practitioners of this profession exhibit. The requirement for a buyer vary in direct relationship to an organization's function or position in the fashion marketing field. Now, let us look at some personal attributes and traits that are commonly believed to be desirable for those who aspire to a career in fashion buying. Buyers must express themselves easily and fluently using both the written and spoken word. Buyers must have the ability to think in numbers as well as to handle figures, particularly in the rapid turnover or short life that so frequently characterizes large segments of fashion merchandise. Buyers, to be successful, must get along with others, their subordinates, their superiors, their vendors and their customers. The ability of buyers to be enthusiastic is universally accepted as a prerequisite for success. Buyers should develop, if they do not already possess, a keen awareness or a sense of alertness as another personal trait. The meaning of creativity in this case ranges from the ability to literally help to create or design a fashion idea, style or item to being able to recognize a style or fashion trend as it emerges. Creativity can also mean the buyer's ability to interpret things in such a way that excitement is created. The ability of buyers to develop or sharpen a sense of curiosity is required. Those who can maintain this curiosity about people, events, styles, etc., will be the ones who will come out ahead time after time. The buyer's ability to develop both physical stamina and emotional stamina produces a combination that is difficult to surpass as a requirement for success in the fashion buying and merchandising field. The ability of fashion buyers to retain what they have seen and heard is an attribute that will serve them well. Here are some important managerial skills. Delegate authority and responsibility to their subordinates. Budget time adequately so that the many diversions and occurrences during the working day can be taken in stride. Be flexible. Be fair, tactful and impartial, which is required by subordinates as an essential quality in their day-to-day relationship. Act on one's own initiative. This distinguishes one buyer from another and involves the ability not only to be a self-starter but also to carry through a project without constant supervision. Educational requirements include a formal degree from college, universities, both private and publicly owned and operated. Educational requirements for a career in fashion buying and merchandising varies. The real need for people with intelligence and perseverance and an ability to get along with others. Every fashion industry or retail store conducts training programs which are categorized as the formal program. This features classroom lectures and discussions. On-the-job training program, learning while doing the job. The job rotation program, this is a technique that assigns trainees to various structures and departments over a period of few years to improve on the skills of an employee. Previous consumer-oriented work experience is an important in the job selection process. Emphasis for job selection is placed on those individuals who begin to work part-time or during summer vacations while still in high school or college in consumer-oriented jobs. The experience garnered in selling, particularly in our current consumer-geared world, is invaluable to future buyers. It helps them to interpret the needs, wants and demands of customers as well as how to act to fulfill them. There is unmistakable trend among young people to become entrepreneurs in fashion business. One of the greatest reasons for failure in small business is the lack of adequate experience in that business. The main advantage of a career in fashion buying and merchandising are remuneration, advancement, opportunity for economic growth, opportunity for personal growth, transferability, opportunity to travel, self-expression, equal opportunities, lifetime career opportunity. There are also disadvantages of a career in fashion buying and merchandising. These are hard work and long hours, competition, pressure, accountability and travel. Fashion buying is a well-paying job. Fashion buying permits the individual to satisfy the desire for self-expression. It is one of the cornerstones of gigantic retail industry. Retailing is a changing and dynamic industry. The primary objective of merchandising is to sell. Some people opt for fashion career because of a personal interest in clothing. They believe that love of fashion and good taste are the prerequisites for a professional career in fashion. The buyer as an agent for the ultimate consumer should consider customers' taste and fashion that causes acceptance in the market, but not his taste and preference. He should know the process of merchandising such as planning, buying and selling. These activities are done based on the knowledge for whom and why merchandise will be purchased. Every professional buyer must know the product with which he or she is dealing. The activity of acting as an agent for customer or consumer implies professional understanding of merchandise offered for sale. Fashion buyer must know the elements of fashion merchandise like silhouette, texture, color, details. He should have professional knowledge about type of fabric, fabric cost, how they perform and how they are suited for specific garments, etc. Let us now review some of the basic principles that drive the fashion. Fashion dynamics and principles separate the beginners from the experts. One of the aspects of fashion buying and merchandising that requires knowledge and intuition. Fashion is evolutionary, fashion is cyclical, buying is for selling. Customers make fashion, acceptance levels of fashion vary. Different fashions appeal to different customers. Price is important, not fashion. Fashion depends on place. The nature of fashion is change. Fashion can filter down or seep up. Fashion does not improve with age. The cardinal sin of fashion merchandising is to be out of trend. The maximum fashion selling requires a communication process which includes display, accessorization, advertising and personal selling. Fashion reflects lifestyles. Timing of fashion stocking is dependent upon who you are, that is the store. Let us now move on to review major skills required for a merchandiser. The major skills required for a merchandiser are decision making skills. Consider the relative costs and benefits of potential actions to choose the most appropriate one. Take decisions quickly and decisively without being afraid of taking the risk. Mathematical skills. Identify complex problems and review related information to develop and evaluate options. Quickly convert vendor quoted cost prices into selling prices in the store. Analytical skills. The job requires analyzing information and using logic to address work related issues and problems. A merchandiser must analyze information presented in numerical terms and translate that into merchandising strategy. Then communication skills. A merchandiser must have adequate knowledge of the structure and content of language, including the meaning and spelling of words, rules of composition and grammar for seamless and effective communication. A merchandiser must communicate effectively in writing as appropriate for the needs of the audience. Negotiation skills. A merchandiser must bring others together and try to reconcile differences. Other skills that are required by the merchandiser are active listening, giving full attention to what other people are saying, taking time to understand the points being made, asking questions as appropriate and not interrupting at inappropriate times. Speaking, talking to others to convey information effectively. Critical thinking, using logic and reasoning to identify the strengths and weaknesses of alternate solutions. Conclusions and approaches to problems. Social perceptiveness, being aware of others' reactions and understanding why they react as they do. Judgment and decision making. Considering the relative costs and benefits of potential actions to choose the most appropriate one. Time management. Managing one's own time and the time of the others. Coordination. Adjusting actions in relation to others' actions. Service orientation. Actively looking for ways to help the people. Reading comprehension. Understanding the written sentences and paragraphs in work-related documents. Writing. Communicating effectively in writing as appropriate for the needs of the audience. Active learning. Understanding the implications of new information for both current and future problem solving and decision making. Persuasion. Persuading the others to change their minds or behavior. Here are some critical information that a merchandiser needs to know. Customer and personal service. Knowledge of principles and processes for providing customer and personal services. This includes customer needs assessment, meeting quality standards for services and evaluation of customer satisfaction. English language. Knowledge of the structure and content of English language, including the meaning and spelling of words and rules of composition and grammar. Sales and marketing. Knowledge of principles and methods for showing, promoting, selling products or services. This includes marketing strategy and tactics, product demonstration, sales techniques and sales control systems. Design. Knowledge of design techniques, tools and principles involved in production of precision technical plans, blueprints, drawings and models. Computers and electronics. Knowledge of computer hardware and software, including all applications like MS Office, etc. Administration and management. Knowledge of business and management principles involved in strategic planning, resource allocation, human resource modeling, leadership technique, production methods and coordination of people and resources. Education and training. Knowledge of principles and methods for curriculum and training design, teaching and instruction for individual and groups, and the measurement of training effects. We now move on to review work styles for a merchandiser. Attention to detail. The job requires being more careful about detail and thorough in completing work tasks. Dependability. The job requires being reliable, responsible and dependable and fulfilling obligations. Adaptability or flexibility. The job requires being open to change, positive or negative, and to considerable variety in the workplace. Stress tolerance. The job requires accepting criticism and dealing calmly and effectively with high stress situations. Cooperation. The job requires being pleasant with others on the job and displaying a good-natured cooperative attitude. Independence. The job requires developing one's own ways of doing things, guiding oneself with little or no supervision, and depending on oneself to get things done. Concern for others. The job requires being sensitive to others' needs and feelings and being understanding and helpful on the job. Initiative. The job requires a willingness to take on responsibilities and challenges. Integrity. Job requires being honest and ethical. Achievement and effort. The job requires establishing and maintaining personally challenging achievement goals and exerting effort towards mastering tasks. Self-control. The job requires maintaining composure, keeping emotions in check, controlling the anger, and avoiding aggressive behavior even in a very difficult situations. Analytical thinking. The job requires analyzing information and using logic to address work-related issues and problems. Innovation. The job requires creativity and alternative thinking to develop new ideas for and answers to work-related problems. Leadership. The job requires a willingness to lead, take charge, and offer opinions and directions. Persistence. The job requires persistence in the face of obstacles. Social orientation. The job requires preferring to work with others rather than alone and being personally connected with others on the job. Here are some work values for merchandisers. Relationships. Occupations that satisfy this work value allow employees to provide service to others and work with co-workers in a friendly, non-competitive environment. Corresponding needs are co-workers, moral values, and social service. Independence. Occupations that satisfy this work value allow employees to work on their own and make decisions. Corresponding needs are creativity, responsibility, and autonomy. Achievement. Occupations that satisfy this work value are result oriented and allow employees to use their strongest abilities, giving them a feeling of accomplishment. Corresponding needs are ability, utilization, and achievement. Working conditions. Occupations that satisfy this work value offer job security and good working conditions. Corresponding needs are activity, compensation, independence, security, variety, and working conditions. Support. Occupations that satisfy this work value offer supportive management that stands behind employees. Corresponding needs are company policies, supervision, human relations, and supervision technical. Recognition. Occupations that satisfy this work value offer advancement, potential for leadership, and are often considered prestigious. Corresponding needs are advancement, authority, recognition, and social status. Retail merchandisers make sure that goods are in right stores or online at right time and the right price. They analyze the data to set selling prices and plan promotion and price reductions. In short, they maximize sales and profits whilst minimizing stocks and costs. If one wants to work in a busy environment, are good with numbers, and have strong communication and computer skills, then being a merchandiser is the perfect job for the person. To get on to retail merchandising, you may need a degree, though entry is possible with right experience and other relevant qualifications. As a merchandiser, you would need high levels of product and customer awareness to predict demand. You would normally specialize in one area such as fashion, food, or homewares. In a large retail chain, you may be known as a product manager and deal only with one or two product lines. May be responsible for both buying and merchandising in smaller companies. Overall, the required skills, interests, and qualities of the merchandiser are strong business awareness, excellent number and data analysis skills, using spreadsheets and computer modeling, good decision making skills, an understanding of what motivates customers to buy the products, the ability to achieve results while remaining calm under pressure, confidence when leading negotiations or presenting at board meetings, a good interpersonal and communication skills to build useful working relations, strong leadership skills and ability to influence others, excellent organizational and planning skills with ability to prioritize, initiative and creative approach to solving problems, the ability to work well in a team. Thank you.